got to subject y'all to a little bit of Fleetwood Mac. Hope against all hope that it isn't too loud. Also, my voice is going to be a little bit different. Just had the worst freaking flu for like 2 days over the weekend. Back to work today, but I actually took a Friday off, which is real unusual for me. But here I am, nailing it. Wanted to give a big shout out and a thank you to Shafe Studios Limited Corporation. I would enjoy a Coke, and I occasionally enjoy a Coke, but do you know what I enjoyed the other day? We were at some restaurant, I can't remember where it was, not important. I had a Pepsi, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't bad. And what's nice about the occasional Pepsi, I don't know if you're really into this kind of music, Shafe, but Suicidal Tendencies, like, all I wanted was a Pepsi. Imagine some kid getting Baker acted, like, all I wanted was a Pepsi. But, so what I've been doing, me lately, I've been banking videos for the other channels, so you probably noticed that my voice doesn't sound like this on the other channel, but been doing a lot of Bible study and work with, of all people, my brother-in-law. I don't know if I've mentioned him before or not. I wouldn't say that he's been a thorn in my side. He hasn't. And I'm not going to say that there's been disappointments or anything like that beyond the usual. Fentanyl is a national problem. You know, I don't have to tell anybody hearing this. You know, if you don't have it in your family, I would near guarantee you know someone who does. But he is for what is to me the first time genuinely on a path to recovery, and I'm doing my best to support him in that. So he's actually back inside right now, and I communicate with him daily, sometimes twice, a couple times a day. Inmate inbox is what we communicate back and forth with, and but before he went back inside, he had violated probation already at this point, but he stopped me one time, and I had sort of, to this point, I had genuinely unpersoned him, you know, just sort of waiting for him to hit rock bottom. Now, me being an alcoholic and with other addiction and compulsion issues, it's not that I'm uniquely qualified to assist someone like this, but I have somewhat of a perspective. I am what they call in AA a dry drunk, like a dry alcoholic, meaning coming up on, man, is it 2 years sober, I think? I'd have to look at it to be sure. But doing that without AA and being involved in a support group, they just consider it dry. Which isn't, I don't know, you know, make of it what you will. AA is a little bit different than NA, and with my other compulsions and my mental situation, I don't really know where the hell I fit in. But there are components and elements that are important to both. You know, taking moral accountability for yourself, seeing where you were, knowing that in both cases you're helpless to do anything about it. You can't do it with your own willpower. You know, you strive for that spiritual solution. And you know, like I said, there's differences between AA and NA. And he's been, from what I can tell, solid on this path. Oh man, I would say he probably turned the corner in either September or October. I remember my mother-in-law saying, "Hey, listen, you know, he's really going after the Lord right now. You know, I got my son back. You know, he gave a profession of faith, and I my son back. So I kind of took that with a grain of salt, because if this were second chances, I think this is second chance number 4, so to speak. I had to put up with my father-in-law being so happy, and my heart broke for him, because any time that he appeared to be coming back, it was just like the prodigal son returning in the Bible. They'd be so excited, and I can appreciate that perspective as a parent. The imagining your child being lost and then seeming to turn back. Now, looking at it as the older brother, the older brother in the prodigal story, you can sometimes either, one, you see it for the bull crap that it is, or two, maybe there's a little bit of jealousy in it, as it pertains to how they treat him versus how they treat my wife, as a daughter versus a son. But who's to say? But he and I have had some fairly mature conversations, just kind of laying everything bare. And this is a far cry from when I originally unpersoned him. And it came down to when my father-in-law was dying of cancer. He's been passed away for almost a year now. When he was dying, and this was fairly early on, maybe about 6 months to a year into treatment. And he's like, man, I don't know how you do it, Ron. You're really holding it together. I just wish I can't do anything like that. I can't do anything to help. And I said, the only thing, if you want to help, keep your shit together, take care of yourself, and that's all we need from you, man. Just that one thing. You don't have to move the world or anything like that. And he failed at that. Now, a lot of pressure on a person at first, because he had only been on the outside for not even a year. You come outside 8 years in prison, and you come out to your father dying, your kids grown up. That's a lot. I get that fully. And along the way, I've been doing my best to say, hey, listen, we've had different life experiences. This is how I see it. And he's in the place right now. He can respond back for it. And I've been very clear that I'm here for him in recovery, and that's where he finds this situation. Nobody's perfect. Maybe he'll slip up. Maybe he won't. Maybe I'll slip up. Maybe I won't. But I mean, this is a good thing. I don't know how many more years like our folks have left. Not that they need to particularly see anything or that, but he still has kids. They're still young. Those are my nephews that I've mentioned before. So I don't think necessarily for my mother-in-law's sake, but for his own, if he's not in a good place and she were to pass away or to be so ill that she can't see the change, that could potentially harm his recovery. Interesting how I ended up in this situation, though. I had actually reached out to an AA sponsor, and he didn't respond to me, so I ended up needing to research this shit for myself. I was worried I was gonna kind of go in the wrong direction, but here we are, and it's been healthy for me. I needed to get back into that quiet time and daily Bible study, and I'm really feeling the difference from it. Turning back a little bit more. So if some of my friends on here that are Christians, I really encourage you to do a little bit a day. Just get in there, not necessarily to read the Bible through, but get yourself some verses and chapters. We center around doing a proverb a day. So you got a full chapter of Proverbs, and go along with the day of the month and kind of picking it apart, dealing with it deep, getting into the meaning of the words. And with us specifically, it isn't just about recovery and forgiveness, but it's also about restoration. I mean, there's years that are perceivably lost that only God could restore. Otherwise they'll always torture us. So that is where I'm at. And thanks everybody, and we'll catch y'all later.